Good morning. My name is James Gitoho, an architect by profession. I joined Triad in 1981 after graduating from the University of Nairobi, and that's about 39 years ago. So I've only had one employer, which is Triad Architects, and I've grown through the ranks, and I'm now a senior partner and director in this firm. I joined AAK as a graduate architect in 1981 after college, and became a member in 1982. And upon passing my professional exams, I became a corporate member in 1986. And eventually, in 2009, I was admitted as a fellow of the Institute. And I've enjoyed my career. As I speak to my fellow colleagues, it's a very encouraging career in private practice, and not interacting with other corporates and other members in public sector, and even in the NGO group. As Triad, we have continued to remain very committed to the advancement of architecture in this country. And needless to say, Triad has been in existence since 1963. And therefore, it is a big challenge and a big mandate on us to keep the profession going. And that's one thing I would really like to emphasize: the need to have indigenous firms continue in the practice of architecture beyond our time. So I believe that Triad will be here for a long, long time. And that's a legacy with which we marvel on and thrive on. The basic thing is to always remain contextual to the country, contextual to the profession worldwide. And so we have a saying here that we have a global perspective with a local operation. We call it global. Global perspective, global worldview with a local contextual approach to our programs. We have an internal CPD, professional development program, that keeps our young architects trained, mentored for the good of the profession. And that has come and continues, is very continuous, and every one of us has an opportunity to share the ideas and dreams, both in the work, the projects they are designing, and more so even in concepts that will help in the development. We take very seriously about ethical professionalism, and I use the word ethical intentionally because it is important in a country like ours to remain absolutely ethical in what you do. And we are very strong on integrity. We have a zero tolerance on issues that may affect the integrity of this company and the profession in particular. We thrive on innovation and creativity, and that's an area where we make awards annually to our members of staff for innovation and creativity in matters pertaining to architecture. And this will go wide from the designs of buildings to the methodology and the style that you approach and you use in your profession. With a new dispensation about our environment, we have a very strong view on sustainability and sustainable development. It shudders sometimes when we see buildings that come up with total disregard of the neighbor, to the extent that you find buildings that are so close to one another and that renders the neighbor's building not a good environment. And so sustainable development is key and mandatory to our office. And it is now a requirement that we all have some environmental expert, whether it is LEED, the American LEED, or the IFC EDGE certification for our buildings, and also for our own profession. Each professional member must strive to become edge expert with the IFC program. The biggest strength we have is teamwork. And this teamwork goes beyond just within the office, within ourselves. It goes to the client, teamwork with the client. It goes to teamwork with the contractors and teamwork with other consultants. And consultants here, we also include collaboration with the consultants that may be engaged and they are out of this country. So we have developed a strong basis on collaboration with other consultants outside the country. It is important to note that in our pursuit to continue excelling in architecture, we have pursued areas of excellence and measurements, awards that we have won in various spheres. But the one that we treasure most is that in 2001, we pursued and we were registered and certified as an ISO company, well before even the government started the initiative to have their ministries and parastatals with ISO certification. That we have enjoyed, and we continue maintaining our ISO certification to date, and that has kept consistency in our products, consistency in our service to others, and we have seen an emerging improvement even with the consultants and contractors that we've interacted with, where we have insisted on certain basic standards to be met whilst doing the work. One thing I want to mention to our younger colleagues is that hard work, as we say in this office, architecture is 5% inspiration and 95% perspiration. It comes with hard work. You must sit down and do your work. It will show in the long run. It will show in the products and the designs of buildings that you do. So there is no excuse. After the university degree, when you venture out in private practice, hard work must happen. We are recording this in the period of COVID, and so it is relevant even now to talk about COVID and what it has impacted on us. Working from home and remotely wasn't new to us because we already had gone towards that direction by improving on our technology, having central server, having our drawings and documents on the cloud. So it wasn't a traumatic change to work from home. What it required is each one of us to ensure we have good connectivity in terms of Wi-Fi, and that has continued. The downside of it is it removed the teamwork brainstorming sessions. So every Monday, there is a team of people who come to the office to continue with that work, and it is not mandatory that you must work from home. It has also brought us to the full knowledge of our technology. And the projects we do, when we collaborate, and we have done that in the last 10 years, collaboration with overseas consultants ensured that we have collaboration tools, whether it is Teams, whether it is GoToMeeting. We have continued to collaborate on drawings with others. And so that has really worked well for us, and that continues. Collaboration through use of technology, use of BIM, working from one model across the boundaries, and working with other consultants, other engineers and QSs on a project using the same model. That has brought efficiency in our delivery. It has brought technological improvement in ourselves as architects and other related professionals. We have interior designers, and we have project managers and construction managers amongst the planners and architects that we have in the office. So that has really, really helped, and we see that continuing. Notwithstanding COVID, we see that collaboration, remote working, becoming a way of life and a way to go forward. So, and I think all these things will impact on the training of the architects at the universities. Whereas we will learn architecture and the history of architecture and the whatever goes on, the technology and technological development must be the forefront in everything that we do. The other areas I come to conclude is the area of just ensuring that the work we do meets the client's requirements. And here I'll emphasize, client is not just the investor. Our client, we define them as the users of those buildings. So if an investor is investing on an office building, we go beyond that and ask ourselves, the companies that will work here, what sort of environment will it be? And so architecture transforms people's lives, improves people's life and workplace or living spaces. And that is our biggest and our strongest concern. I'm very encouraged with AAK as a profession for its continued spreading and spearing the professionalism in this field and remaining relevant and competitive with other international bodies. Relating with the professional associations in this country as well, and also to that extent, speaking out when things are not working or are working against the environment and the people of Kenya and the architecture. Remember, architecture defines the people. And so to me also a big emphasis must be producing buildings that are contextual and relevant to our way of life. Yes, egos come in with investors and sometimes they want to replicate what was done in another country. But it is the challenge of the architect to ensure that those buildings are also contextual, tropicanized, as if I could put it that way, tropicanized for this country. As an architect, I've enjoyed my 39 years in Triad. I've enjoyed the landmarks we have created, and more so, I appreciate those that were here before us. M.S. Connell, who came from Tanga, started this company way back in 1975, but in this office, but the company was set up in 65. So I am the 4th generation, and I have 3 other partners following me. And because of that, we have a rule of succession. And none of us is in the same age group. So the one who follows me is 6 years behind me, the other one is 12 years, and then 23 years. And I became a partner here when my senior partner was 25 years older than I. And that has made the company remain relevant to the profession, and we have remained relevant to the community, and we have become part of the community. We do our CSR work through Triad Foundation to make sure we remain relevant and give back to the community that has continuously supported us. So with those few remarks, I just want to thank AAK for this work they are doing, and just to meet fellow members of AAK now and in the future, and that architecture will continue, and AAK is here for a long haul. Thank you very much.